Welcome back to the two-player games of the World Championship stage 5 in the upper brackets. As a small reminder, the situation is that everyone in the group can win the group by their own merit. 3 wins are more or less required to, 3 wins guarantee that you win the group, and then 2 wins for me are very likely not enough, and for Kushantri or Vavchinec it might be enough, but there are then a lot of ifs. So this is the first of the two-player games against Dantes, and my start here is quite good. I go for the library, since that means if he takes the pyramids, he will probably get one of those. The library is good. I actually don't really know if it would require for me to take Sun Tzu then he would get Moses. I am not entirely certain if Sun Tzu is that good here. We do have a Suez Canal, that's a plus. But then there's not the best follow-up for Sun Tzu, maybe. I mean, for me, more or less the best follow-up for Sun Tzu is Eleanor. And everyone else is always a bit swingy. Like Chishka, for example, you don't know if you get him. And yeah. So I don't even know if he takes pyramids. I might still just take Boudica or even Hippocrates. And he also, has that option, obviously. Just taking Aristotle and Richland. He didn't need to take pyramids. I don't know. Still, I think I'm fine with the library here. It's a decent start for both, I would say. So here I do take Hippocrates over Boudica. I guess that's a close call. I think Hippocrates is super solid, and he has maybe higher value ceiling, in the sense that if Saladin drops early, or maybe there are also some other leaders that I would actually consider to play early on, then you're in a good spot. So if you say Boudica and Hippocrates have more or less the same value on average, but maybe he has a bit higher ceiling. I don't know. It's a close call. Bit of a gut feeling decision, more or less. Then standard stuff, the mine and population. We draw weighted territory and the defense card. Nice start. And there's already a leader in the row, Isabella. Maybe not the best, but in combination with weighted territory, it's actually quite good, I would say. Dantes elects Aristotle, takes the pyramids, elects Aristotle, builds a mine with the rich land, and populates, leaving EG on 2. I am willing to cede this weighted territory and then just build a philosophy. And there's a monarchy drop here. I don't think I need to take Isabella here for 2. If he takes her, I'm actually fine. I think Aristotle is better than Isabella, with the pyramids especially. And yes, this early monarchy is always decent. If I want to take a leader, I'm not going to revolution it, but I do have a library, so I will be at +3 science income soon. So you can postpone the revolution. Maybe there's another point of time where it's possible, or you can just go for it normally. So I think that's a pretty good drop here with that monarchy. I draw a call to arms and good harvest. Dantes starts building the pyramids, wants to delay the philosophy. He also gets this EG in hand. Then we can look. We already see a printing press in the row. And it is a pretty good printing press game, with especially with the Shakespeare. Um, Maybe it was an option for me to delay this philosophy and just go for this library. I think back in the days I did that pretty often. But I've just had some games where waiting for the printing press was pretty good, pretty awful in hindsight. And I tend to, if I don't see the printing press, prefer to just go for the philosophy. There was also like not a good option to build two stages. I didn't have the option to build two stages, then you only build one. I don't know how good my last civil action. I think it wouldn't have solved corruption even. I would have had to populate if I want to spend three civil actions for monarchy. So yeah, in total, I did go for the second philosophy. It doesn't mean I can't go for printing press. It's just yeah, you then just go for maximum one printing press in H1, and then maybe later, if you have a happy face solution, can get a second one. More important is in this setup that you have it in hand, I think. So you, yeah, can play Shakespeare if the possibility arises. So that is does see it, and yeah, does skip it for now, the philosophy, and starts to build the pyramids. Takes EG for 1 and then a rich land for 2. Doesn't bother about knights or warfare. Would maybe be an option, especially maybe the warfare with Aristotle, but yeah, of course the rich land is also a good card. So I do seed the good harvest here. Development of trade routes are revealed, and now it's maybe a bit interesting. I do go for Isabella here. I don't see any other leader here, and yeah, I have the two yellow cubes. I have seeded a colony, so I think Isabel, that's actually a decent outcome, I would say. I mean, yeah, still Saladin would be better, but it's a decent outcome here. And then we do see iron here in the row. I think, yeah, I've talked about the printing press, and it is an important tech in this game. So I guess my turn is just to take this printing press actually for 2, which puts this iron here on 2. And then it's a bit ugly for him to take it, maybe. I mean, he probably can do it, but maybe not. We will see. So I think that's what I did. Yeah, printing press, and then yeah, we have to populate here, which yeah, the extra blue cubes come in handy already. They solved the corruption issue. Border conflict and fighting band drawn. Development of markets are revealed, which give him some further corruption issues, and now he builds the pyramids without the EG even. Builds a lab. And yeah, takes irrigation, populates. He would have had to take iron, not irrigation, not build the philosophy, and populate. Would that even be enough? Maybe not even. Yeah, maybe he couldn't fix corruption with taking iron. So now that means he doesn't take it, which is a bit annoying. Or it's actually quite bad, I would say, in a two-player game to miss out on iron. Pyramids make up a bit for it. You have more access, more selections, so more access to yellow cards. But it's a bit dependent on a card row also. And yeah, playing without irons is really not that great in a two-player game. So development of settlement revealed. I did see the, what was it now? Good harvest. I can finish this library, take the iron, build a warrior, play the tactic. And yeah, 10 plus 3 signs here, and now next turn there's different options that we have here. We can go for a printing press, we can start upgrading iron, maybe even just go for the monarchy. Quite a good start, I would say, with these options in hand. Dantes goes for swordsman, doesn't want to be weakest, and gets the Forbidden City on top of the pyramids. He still has this EG. The other EG here will probably go to me. Yeah, also gets a breakthrough. Yeah, especially after having missed out on this iron, extra selections will also be welcome to fix resource shortages with yellow cards. And I have not made the very best experience with stacking these two wonders somehow. I don't know, maybe it's just a bad sample size, statistical thing, but yeah. It cannot be bad, but yeah, you invest. Let's try to rationalize it. You invest a lot of rocks into extra civil actions, but not into culture income, and that's important in two-player games. It doesn't make the game easier, also. So you have a lot of civil actions, and then finding good turns or the best turns also a lot more difficult. And yeah, I don't know. Not the best experiences. I wouldn't call it bad per se, not like something that you should avoid. But yeah, I don't know. I do see the call to arms also. I think I'm willing to take. I think it was the call to arms now. I have to try to look at it a bit more precisely. I was willing just to take the gamble. I don't know if I'm gonna be stronger than him at some point. He did invest into swordsman, but I wanted to, yeah, in the best case, get this worthy territory now, and maybe even the other territories, the other events would have some benefits now, which I can't really overview now. But that was definitely the best case, this territory, and it did happen. I only have to pay one extra rock here, get the 6, and decide to go for this iron upgrade now, which I can do 3 times, and now I'm at 2+7 signs, rock income. Which did mean I skipped this EG, I left it for him. Maybe I should have taken it. Looking at this, he kind of needs it. Maybe I should have taken it. Maybe my thought process was a bit like, I don't have a lot of civil actions and I want to be more efficient with it, and upgrading this is better than having this EG in hand. But I think if I compare if I look at this, he kind of needs it. Or he doesn't need it, but it's very good for him. So yeah, maybe I should have taken that away. Border conflict is revealed. I think that was seeded by him. Some extra rocks also for him here. Takes EG, plays EGA, finishes it. So he doesn't even then need it for this one, but maybe can make use of it for the next wonder. And there are some very good H2 wonders here. There's the Suez Canal, Ocean Liner Service, even the Transcontinental Railroad. Maybe that's just the 4 best wonders here. Yeah, Harvard is missing. I do not go for monarchy. I instead go for printing press. I can kind of make use of the border conflict in a way that I have some extra population for printing presses now. And at the end, I take this castle. It's just so good in 2-player. And Also, I have a lot of rock income, and this is a very civil action efficient rock dump. So I'm actually kind of happy to still get this. Good, harvest is revealed. Nantes goes for Chishka. Adopts the fighting band, and here, yeah, I did something that I condemned sometimes of other players, and maybe I shouldn't have done it. I revealed this fighting band knowing that there's a Chishka in the deck. And yeah, I think I shouldn't have done it. Maybe I did it to be temporarily stronger there. Then he had to go for the swordsman. Mm. And also maybe in order to bid better on possible colonies by him. I mean, I knew that's only a weighty territory by me. But all in all, I don't know. I think I shouldn't have done it. You don't want him to have this. It's just too good. It's just too culture income. Now, one extra strength. If he didn't have a tactic, it's super awkward for him to take Chishka. And like this, Chishka is super good. So, don't do this, guys. I think this was a mistake by me. Yeah, and we see the 6-7 actions already working. He has a lot of resources in hand. Also, I think, yeah, 2 breakthroughs. Also, just a lot of science in hand, and starts upgrading food income. I can just finish this castle, and it fulfills its purpose as a rock dump. Populate. I do go for monarchy and build another library. Yes, this castle is also super nice in this position, absolving me of the yeah, annoying task of having to defend with knights presumably or something. I can skip knights here. So I can just build the castle. I will be fine into mid H2 with this setup, which is always super desirable in, yeah, not only in 2-player games. If you could be safe like this in 4-player games, you would also be very happy. Yeah, but it happens more often in 2-player games that you just have one warrior and you are just fine. And yeah, the age is over. Hippocrates already goes to work. There's a pestilence revealed. Dantes takes Code of Laws for 2 civil actions here. It was not really an option here to take it for 3. My turn was too good. But H2 is already starting, so I can hope to get the justice system. But with the monarchy, you kind of do want an extra civil action, and then it is a bit annoying if it's back in the deck. But this is definitely still playable. And if you don't get the justice system in time, more often than not, this is already for science income. More often than not, you can just go, yeah, for a timely civil service or for an H3 government. And democracy is also super important in 2-player games. So if you just have the science for democracy in H3, it's also super good. So yeah, the Code of Law is very desirable, but yeah, the 6th civil action, but 5 are playable. And yeah, he goes to 7 here without a government. Upgrades alchemy. Takes reserves. He does kind of have to take these things. I think he could have populated, but I do understand that this reserves is reasonable. I would agree. Rebellion revealed. Which is a bit annoying. But I think there could be worse timing for that. I could have taken Cybrid for 3 without the rebellion. Now I settle for irrigation for 1. Or let's say, if he doesn't take the Cybrid away, I can still go for that. But like this, I cannot be blocked on foot. And the alternative, there is no real alternative. I don't want to go for alchemy in this setup. And taking urban growth or frugality makes it very cheap for him to take the Cybrid away, so I settled for this irrigation. Which, yeah, it's actually just a civil action that you spend, I think, to get the cell bread then after that. Or maybe in some cases you just go for the irrigation, but yeah, it kind of depends. Yeah, I draw the wealthy territory and vast territory here, that which is super nice. We did see there's yeah, here Swiss Canal in the deck, and we can just also seed one of those, and there's also 2 colonization cards. Yeah, just a good draw. I mean, Isabella will probably be gone until then, but that's not even guaranteed. So it's just, I think, reasonable to draw one of those here. To seed one of those. It's also reasonable to draw it, of course. Dark Ages revealed. I lose 2 signs. Dauntless does not lose anything. Takes Masonry. Upgrades the lab with the Masonry bonus. Plays a Richland. Takes Printing Press. Now also has the Shakespeare option, Urban Growth in hand, Frugality in hand. And yeah, we do see it's mighty to have these 7 civil actions already. So I don't really know who's ahead here. I did say it's really annoying to miss out on iron, but yeah, 7 civil actions make up for that. And he has no government yet. He has 6+4 science. If he gets a government, he has yeah, 2 or 3 extra civil actions. And that's then quite a lot. It also makes the game fast, potentially at least. So yeah, some culture income is even more important maybe. And I did manage to already go to 5 science culture income with the wonders and 2 printing presses. So reasonably well set up here. I see it, reveal the foray, it goes to Dantes. And yeah, separate even on 1, so I go for this and upgrade it twice and take Maria Theresa. And that's maybe a bit surprising because, yeah, I did mention there's Shakespeare and there's even Bach. And the 2-player games are often a lot about who gets them in a good timing and can run away with culture. But there's a reason for this. There are several reasons for Maria Theresa here. One of them is I know that this event here is a call to arms. And if he seeds, I might lose it. And then I could not take the Suez Canal if it stayed here. Like this, if it happens, and he doesn't take it away, I can still take it. And that's my entire turn. And I would very likely be willing to do that. And on top of that, the other reason, maybe a bit more importantly, is that I do feel like with my economy and my entire setup, I can also just build 3 operas and yeah, I already have 2 printing presses, maybe a third. And also generate a lot of culture while simultaneously being with Teresa being very robustly set up against potential yeah, his military potential, which is also, yes, 3 MA. He did draw already some cards with the right tactic. He can already be annoying now. And yeah, Maria Theresa just does give these extra rocks for military. Some extra science is also welcome here. I do have Celebrate here. Vast territory in hand with Suez canals. So I think, yeah, overall the game state's very safe then. But I do have to watch out for his greedy potential then. Yeah, in the sense that if he gets a decent Shakespeare timing now, he might just be the guy who runs away with the culture. So there is a downside to this. But yeah, the upside is I am a bit safe against culture, against military, and he does have swordsman and the 30 May. He might just get strategy. He might have some good military potential here. And yeah, also I don't even think I automatically lose out on the culture race with the setup because I can easily build 3 operas. and compete even with the Shakespeare maybe. One important aspect of Shakespeare is actually is maybe not even that he produced 4 and then later 6 culture per turn, but that he gives all these discounts in building the buildings. So he makes it very cheap. Yeah, and that aspect is just not important with my +7 iron. Not that important at least. Not that important. It's not unimportant, but not as important. Yeah. Okay, so that's the Teresa turn that I went for. Let's see if that backfires. Yeah, we draw here war. I think the offensive war potential is not there. Not really. And Napoleonic army, it's also very heavy investment already, always. I mean, the Napoleonic army rewards swordsmen and knights. Yeah, and then you take, if you, I don't know, have two sword, for some reason have swordsmen and knights already, and then draw this, then it's cool. But if you have to, even if you only have knights and you have to get riflemen and cannons, then it's so expensive somehow. And in my experience, more often than not efficient enough. Just the number 7 is just not high enough to force military wins. Yeah, sometimes it can work, but I've tried a lot with Napoleonic army, many cases where I try to go for it, and then I think it's just too many civil actions that you spend in taking all the techs and developing all the techs, too much science for all the techs, and then the number is not really good enough. And yeah, the opponent just has hussars or fortification and defense, and has spent a lot less civil actions and science and so on. Yeah. But it's nice, of course, to have the tactic as a defensive option. Even, yeah, the outdated one can do work to defend. So, what does Dantes do? He increased population, builds another irrigation, and that is probably for the reason that there's a red cross. Maybe he just had a rich land. He did that with rich land, did he? No, without Richard. Yeah, okay. Maybe a bit interesting to do that, but yeah, can I, I sometimes also do that, but maybe not with only 3 bronze. So it does 4 rocks without a rich land is a lot of cost. If he had done it with a rich land, I would feel it more. Like this, I don't really feel this third farm here right now. And I think that's not reason enough. Maybe the red cross. Yeah. But he also goes for a printing press here. Builds it. Is now set up for Shakespeare. Is already also in the row, which I was not happy to see. Just instantly dropped. Takes cannons, which I was happy to see because he could maybe just skip it and start the gamble for the second cannon, which he's a lot better set up for, because for him it's a lot yeah, more less costly to spend 3 civil actions for a cannon than for me. And for me it's already almost my entire turn then. So yeah, I was happy that he took it. You don't really want to miss out on cannons in a 1v1 unless you already have hussars. And then he also gets a breakthrough. He did get all the breakthroughs, I think, so far, and is on +5 science now with the printing press. And yeah, again, I'm not certain who's ahead here. I think it's a very yeah, interesting game. Here, gladly, he did not see it and did not reveal the call to arms. Now I am free to also take this justice system, and I think it's early enough that it's yeah, worth it, definitely. And I also take the Swiss canal and build a stage. Maybe if I could populate, I could have populated twice and developed it. But yeah, I decided I don't want to do it yet and get this rock income. I don't know. This is also one more science, one more food income. Yeah, maybe a close call. I think I could have played Teresa, populate twice, and also go for this justice system, but there might have been some reasons I don't recall now. I think it's also just a close call. She also gets that rock. Yeah. Like this, also nice. One stage is built. Maybe I get the architecture, which I would like to get still, and then can build it in one go. The wonder. Yeah, we also draw classical army and international negotiations. Now the call to arms is revealed. Ah, yeah, maybe if I didn't do this turn and the other turn. Could I even populate twice? No, no, I'm talking bullshit. As always in these reviews, I didn't have the selections to populate twice and get it out still. So it wasn't even an option. Yeah, and this also means building one stage also means I can finish the wonder in this case now if I want to. I don't even know if that's then the best yeah option. Okay, that is place reserves, takes coal, can still go for it. He does have enough rocks for it. I think it's reasonable to still do it. Upgrades once, takes Shakespeare, takes Reverdeer. Hmm. Strategic territory revealed. Might well be that I seeded that at one point. Sadly, I I'm just not good enough to keep track of these events too closely, but I think I do most of the time when it's important, at least. Yeah, and he was willing to bid two swordsmen here. That's a hefty price. So he bids two swordsmen for this strategic territory, which was then a colonization force of 7. That means I was willing to bid one warrior. These cards is 4. Yeah, and then I revealed it, right? Right. I was going up to 6, so I was willing to bid 3, yeah, pay 3 extra rocks, but not 6. I think 6 would have been too much. So, yeah, I think I take that he pays 2 swordsmen and draws some cards. Of course, if he draws fortifications with it or had it in hand already, then it's also pretty reasonable to just send them away and be free to build some cannons. Yeah, but still, I would take the deal that he has to pay 2 swordsmen for this tactic, for this, yeah, tactic if he draws it, and for this strategic territory. I go for justice system, take opera in hand. It's just important to have that option. And yeah, don't even finish the wonder because of the opera. And maybe also it would have been, yeah, corruption if I went for this vast territory here. And yeah, if I think it would have been corruption then, and like this, I also have another option now. I did draw the developed territory, so maybe that's even better than the vast. Not the best science income here, not the best amount of science, and yeah, I think this developed territory is a better option. Dantes plays revolutionary idea and gets the Conmon here. Now this looks extremely mighty going into H3. Builds Swordsman, elects Shakespeare. You still had drama in hand all this time and can just go for it. Populates and takes reserves. Builds another Swordsman. Wants to be stronger again. I reveal the wealthy territory and I'm again, no, this time even willing to bid 7 which means either one more warrior or even all the 6 rocks. And he goes to 8, which means, he has drawn some colonization cards now. And he wins it with only 1 swordsman. And that is awful for me. For him, it's great. But winning this with only 1 swordsman, let's in a spot where he did get by with the yellow cards, but he was only on +5, and now he got 9 rocks, and I think that is so impactful for the game. I think those weighty territories are in quite some circumstances more impactful than a vast territory or even a developed territory. And here I think it's extremely impactful. You can just upgrade 2 codes now if he wants to. He maybe doesn't even have to do that, and maybe upgrade 1. But for 1 swordsman, this weighty 2 extremely good for him. I was not happy to see this. I think I was willing to bid everything. I got rid of the. Did I? Yeah, somehow I got rid of that card. I didn't want to. Yeah, okay, it was a tough choice. I had 1 extra colonization card, but it was a tough choice. I didn't want to get rid of the tactic. Definitely not the colonies. So yeah. But something doesn't add up. I don't understand. I should have been able to hold 4 cards. Did I have the developed territory already? I don't know why I don't have this colonization card. Anyway, that was a bit unfortunate. And now I think he's actually ahead with all these these civil actions. With Shakespeare will be doing a lot of work. I think I can't even take this ocean liner away, and he just can take and build it also if he wants to. Yeah, that was a bit unfortunate. I elect Teresa, take breakthrough cavalryman, populate, build 2 cavalrymen. Could consider maybe even to just play the tactic. But maybe there's also another territory in there, and I can bid the 2 warriors for that still, so understandable to not play it. Also, you might just skip cavalryman. He also has swordsman already. So, and he will definitely take rifleman away if I play it now. So in this case, not playing it is probably wiser. And Dantes indeed does go for the ocean liner service here. Can still make use of his EG that he had all this time, EG1. Does take the rifleman anyway, which is a bit annoying for me because takes away quite some tactic options from me. Also the H3 tactics, but obviously also already this classical army. Like this, a lot harder to maybe try to build up some military pressure. And rebuilds the swordsman, takes efficient upgrades. So super good for him. Also the 4 blue cubes, they are just super good in a game with Red Cross, and he can amass a lot of food now, and he doesn't really have to spend it because he has an ocean liner. And that's just 8 food extra lying around here, potentially with this wealthy territory, thanks to this wealthy territory. So going into H3, I thought this small leads. I mean, for me it's also doesn't look bad, definitely, but I think I would choose his position over mine, probably. But he also just needs to get going with these now. And also with the H3 tags. He needs to hope for multimedia and movies and/or movies early on, because these buildings are He can build quite a lot of them, but yeah, 3 pairs of these are maybe not enough on their own. He also needs the tier through counterparts, the H3 H3 counterparts. Historic territory. Yeah, I think I didn't see that. Or maybe I did. Actually, I don't remember. But I think I didn't. And now that was nice to see, obviously, that I can get this now for just one cavalryman. Also in a spot where it was a bit ugly with happy faces. And maybe I would have had to go for an organized engineer instead of operas. It's a bit unclear. But yeah, super happy to see that. It also increases the culture gap significantly, actually. So yeah, him getting this wealthy territory meant that I got this one. So overall, probably okay. Probably I would still have preferred the wealthy territory, but then it's yeah, a lot closer, definitely. I do get access for on this of access for on off. This architecture here, two is the word. Access to the architecture. uh, my brain. And can go for it for the opera, for architecture and opera. Can build 2 operas. And yeah, we see I also have 11 culture income. His culture income is +5. He needs to get these pairs out. And there's a movies already in a row. It was unrealistic for me to spend 3 civil actions for that, but yeah, that just means he gets it now if he takes it. And he goes for the navigation first, which is maybe a bit expensive. He has to have a clear reason for this. But I don't really know. I mean, I already also see this vast territory, and then, yeah, there might be strategic, inhabited, autonomous. Yeah, it's of course it's a good tech, and if colonies are in, it's worth it. But otherwise, it's very expensive. And right now, it means he doesn't go for movies, which is a bit surprising, maybe, because yeah, building movies now would be super good. Only cost 8 rocks with Shakespeare, he could just do it. Navigation also means he gets stronger. Maybe that was part of the reason. But yeah, like this, EG for 3 civil actions. So maybe a bit expensive, even with this many civil actions. Ocean liner service, increase population, builds library, builds theater, doesn't take these movies. I think that's a huge mistake because this, yeah, we see I'm at +11 and he's at +10, and he has to overcome my culture income. And he could do it with movies now. If I would be very afraid if he would start to build a movie per turn now. And we have seen this printing press for free, by the way. And like this, I'm not that afraid of his culture. But what do I need to be afraid of then? Of military? I don't think so. Not with this. Okay, I don't have cannons. Somehow I couldn't take it. So maybe there is an angle to go for military against me, but yeah, I would be a lot more afraid of these movies now, I would say. Now I'm curious if I even take it away or leave it for him after all this talk about that. I don't do it. I leave it for him. Okay. Then he has a second chance. Um, yeah, I guess I don't know. Maybe I should have taken it away. I think from in hindsight, I would say it's just too important. I guess my turn was very coherent like this, and taking that away has the huge downside, obviously, that I'm not going to go for movies here with this operas here, and if the other movies drop, I have wasted the civil actions big time, and I don't even have yeah, endless space. Okay, I have a lot of space still, but still can backfire to take it away. Um, yeah, but I think maybe I should. Dantes goes for cannons and the defensive army. Takes Hollywood here. Yeah, there was really no way for me to take it. But that Hollywood was also next to internet, so there's that consolation prize. Yeah, builds an hour printing press. Doesn't have enough civil actions apparently to go for another drama. So he's still just at 11 and there's a certain gap. So it is this setup where I said I can also compete culturally just with this. Yeah, okay, but I'm at plus 15 and yeah, Shakespeare can go to something like 26 with the yeah, with movies and three pairs. And then that would be enough to overcome this gap. Yeah, but especially with the Hollywood, of course, right? But like this doesn't look like it is enough. So it will be interesting to see if he, yeah, still finds that setup or what his approach is. Like, um, going for this defensive army, I think it feels better than it is. I mean, yeah, probably there are some strength events here. But starting a strength race against Maria Teresa, who has nothing other else to do than so this is maxed out now, and Maria Teresa has nothing else to do than yeah compete in the strength race. So um, yeah, I think getting stronger is feels better than it is. Unless he somehow, I don't know, calculates a way where he can push a war through towards the end. But I feel like the defensive army is not enough, even like against no tactic, actually. And yeah, this is it's a game changer in that regard also. Or at least, I mean, not enough to, of course, in a close game, but not enough to overcome horticulture. Okay, I do even get access to this military theory now, so I can, yeah, just go for this strength race a bit. Can take communism in hand. Maybe there will be an opportunity to go for a revolution for it. Maybe towards the end of the game, I can even just go for it. And yeah, not that much else to do. I could go for this multimedia now, but by now, I thought it's a bit greedy maybe because yeah, games end of the game is already approaching. Here, even more than with the movies, it could just be a dead two civil actions. He actually also, I kind of missed that in my commentary, that he didn't even take the movies for one civil action. Yeah, he did take the Hollywood in that turn, I guess. Yeah, but even more than earlier with the movies, if I spend those two multimedia civil actions for multimedia here, and the other one drops, was kind of dead civil actions. And in this situation, I don't feel like my next turn will be upgrading multimedias, but compete in the strength race. So yeah, communism and then urban growth. Yeah, I find that still more probable than the patriotism, more useful overall. And here I just also go for this classical army. It's for free military action wise, and he has a defensive army already, so I can reveal it. And Dantes does take air forces here, goes for air forces, builds one, builds a theater. Now he is at 15 culture income, so yeah, takes multimedia in hand. Just also again for comparison, some wonders, and yeah, 3 operas, 3 printing presses is 15, and here his Shakespeare's setup is 15, and he does need those tier 3 options. Does take multimedia now. Reserves, efficient upgrade reserves. So yeah, he has a lot of potential still in hand, but the time's running away a bit. Overcoming this gap becomes harder and harder. It's, yeah, a steady 40 culture gap, more or less. He, yeah, did get stronger again. I do seed now, and indeed there is refugees. I start seeding because there's not many turns left, and the impact that I just seeded was good for me. That much I can say. And I also have 2 other good impacts in hand. The progress is pretty decent here, and competition can be decent depending on how it goes on. So I wasn't willing to keep on trying to win the strength race. I think getting stronger now is kind of hard, if not impossible. So if I lose the event anyway, I start seeding. I get the red cross here. Yeah, it's just as always. I repeat myself. I don't like the wonder. It's just so random that I can build almost a full wonder now for no rock cost. It's just too impactful. And yeah, that's the turn. National Pride is in there. Dantes does decide to go for the movies now. So he did all this. Cannons, Air Forces. I mean, he might still have 1 war turn, but he would need to set it up now. And it's kind of hard against Himeji Castle. And yeah, even the outdated classical army, 25 rocks. So yeah. So he invested all of this, more or less for refugees, and that's not good enough. He could have had all of this here. He could have had a lot of movies there now. And I would have been extremely afraid of that. I was still a bit afraid of this because he does have this Hollywood in hand. And there's Fleming also. Yeah, there's Fleming, Chaplin, and Dietrich. But Fleming is the one that I'm most afraid of. With Fleming and 3 movies and maybe 2 multimedia, that's a 60 culture Hollywood we're talking about, or close to. And then my gap is already gone. Even this free cheated wonder here is no help against that. So even now he still has outs also. I was not, yeah, absolutely not certain that I'm winning this game because of this. It's just that this, what he has now with this 21, it should have been 2 turns ago, and then then I think maybe I just lose the game in the setup. Because I also don't know if I have any, I don't really have any aggressive potential. But to be fair, I could also have played a bit more greedy at some point with the multimedia, maybe. But it might have not been enough at all against this a bit earlier. And even now, it's gonna be close, I think. So that's also why I did start seeding all I could, because I thought I need everything I can get from impacts, every piece of culture. I can just finish the red cross here and go for multimedia upgrades. No leader in the row, by the way. Was I then too happy with this Maria Theresa? I don't know if it was the right call. I had my reasons for it. I think it was okay. But I think I might just lose the game. After all. I think I might just lose the game from this play. The vast territory that I seeded at some point, I don't even bid for it. I don't think it makes any difference. And he upgrades military. Yeah. I think that's something I also saw in his game against Vavchinec. And then the penultimate turn, a lot of military upgrade. For what? What is happening? Why? To set up an aggression? Not against this. Not against this. To defend an aggression? I don't. To play for around the impact of strength, but he could do it next turn, I guess. This could be multimedia now. He did have military build-up, but he still used some civil actions and some extra rocks to build another extra unit. So he did lose some rocks here. Yeah, I don't know. It's a bit curious. Could have been a multimedia. Right? Am I missing something? No, yeah, he even went for these riflemen. Very weird. I don't know. What are these riflemen doing? uh, yeah, I think he did a very similar penultimate turn against Vavchinec, where I even thought he forgot to declare war because he then had 3 military actions after that. Yeah, I don't think this does anything. It could just be upgraded multimedias, which I was still very afraid of. But yeah, it threatens an aggression a bit, but honestly, not against all these military actions and Himeji Castle. And even if you win one aggression, it's not, it's 14 culture, but this upgrading some multimedia is also already 14 culture with this Hollywood. Yeah. Also, that I think this engineering, yeah, I remember going into this end game, I calculated something. I do calculate in these games sometimes a bit at least, and I thought if he just gets this engineering out and upgrades multimedia now, and then and so on and so on, and then this I didn't calculate it exactly, but then if it's something like a 55 culture Hollywood, 56 culture, then it's super close. It definitely depends on his impacts then. And then I saw this turn and was like, what? Okay, good for me, I guess. And even like this is not impossible for him to win. Independence Declaration, even like this, definitely not impossible. Satellites for impacts. I don't even have a turn here. I I can upgrade a bit. Yeah, there's not really much to do. I end the game with 20 rocks. Not enough civil action slider, sadly, for the space flight. I think, yeah, I kind of failed that even a bit. I think when I made this Red Cross play, it was also a bit expensive, but I think it was worth it. Because otherwise you can just finish Hollywood and take and build Red Cross. Yeah, I remember now. I did that a bit so that he couldn't do it. Finish Hollywood and take Red Cross. And then build that too, because he had a lot of science food. But I wasn't happy after that because I realized, sadly only after it, okay, it's better for him anyway to just go for a lot of movies and multimedia from that point on. So the cost of the Red Cross, um, I think it may still have been correct, but at least that deny aspect of it was wrong. That was just wrong. Apart from it, it might still have been correct, but maybe also not, because as we see, I didn't now even have civil actions to build the space flight, which was not a super great wonder. But then if it's, yeah, makes no difference between Red Cross and this culture-wise. Yeah, it's a bit complicated to explain, but I think the opportunity cost of this red cross was not as good as I thought. Uh, and then it makes no difference. If you end with 20 rocks, it makes no difference that you have not spent any rocks on this wonder. That's what makes it strong, this red cross, right? If you just cheat it more or less out of thin air, out of some food. Yeah, but if you could build a wonder with the rocks that you have left, then it makes no difference. Yeah, many ifs. I don't know. I wasn't too happy after I did that with the red cross, and maybe it cost me some science even to go for communism. I do like civil actions here big time. But then again, maybe if the with the timing of the spaceflight, how it turns out, maybe I couldn't have really done it anyway. I don't know. And it's also we are also only talking about maybe something like 20 culture here with the spaceflight, just a normal wonder. More or less what yeah, this was more. Yeah, this is then 24 plus yeah, it's something like that. It's 24 plus 5 is 29, but minus the 6 of him. So 23. He gets 6 culture for it for one civil action too. So yeah, it's just a normal wonder versus a normal wonder. I thought I denied it, but I didn't really do it because he's happier with building a giga Hollywood anyway. But gladly, he really didn't go for it, at least as much as he could. And still, all of that said, this is gonna be close and even winnable for him with the right impacts, actually. And he did go for this aggression. I mean, it also means maybe a bit that he doesn't have impacts in hand. If he does have an impact in hand, this is a very bad bet, but I will guess that he didn't. So that's also part of the reason why he tried it. But yeah, again, this 14 culture that he might get, and it's so unlikely against all these military actions and the castle, is not worth all the investment here. And it could be now it's going to be only one multimedia now, but I think if he went for this engineering, it's definitely at least one more and maybe even two more. With yeah, with all the cards with efficient upgrade maybe on top and so on. I don't know. Like this is 46 culture. Yeah, every upgrade multimedia is 4 more. Then we are already talking at 50 or 54. So like this, he goes into this final calculation with 192 to 203. So super close. And every culture, yeah, what I just calculated, it just counts a lot. And then it also contests impacts, like impact of science, one more multimedia. Also impact of culture. Impact of progress here, 10 culture more for me. Impact of harmony, 20 to 20. Impact of industry, 6-5. Impact of agriculture, 10-10. And I do win this game in the end. And yeah, again, one crucial moment was taking Teresa there, ensuring that I get this Suez Canal on one civil action, so I could take it even with the call to arms. And I don't know if it was correct. I mean, after the game, he also said he felt he had no military angle, although he had this defensive army and I think even a war early on. And that is, of course, a plus point for Maria Theresa. So she does help defending that. Yeah, but I think I just lose the game, actually, if he plays it very cleanly, very perfectly towards the end. And yeah, I think overall, maybe it is a mistake to take Maria Theresa there. Yeah, but I don't know. It's also, once again, disclaimer, in hindsight, again, everything a lot easier to say And he actually asked for advice again. It's a bit of a theme on my channel. It's my third game against Dantis, 1-on-1. The other two were, I think, both in the Quick and Dirty tournaments. And yeah, it was the showdown of the master versus the pupil, we kind of called it, or he called it in the chat. I think I was lucky here, even with the impacts maybe. And yeah, maybe, I don't know, towards the end, maybe he just stresses himself too much. But I think, yeah, with the engineering and all the cards, and he upgrades it twice more, maybe he then can see it an impact that he otherwise can't see it, the culture or science or whatever. Yeah. And then he wins. So, nice game. I would like to know what you think. Was it correct to take? Yeah, not she was correct, definitely. But Maria Theresa there, or is that not correct? I wouldn't know. I think how the game turns out, I might not have done it if I could go back now. Um, I might not do it again, but I'm still not certain. Okay, that was the first game. I'm very happy that I won it. That means only 2 more to go, only 2 more wins. Yeah, let's see how it works out. See you. I don't have the standings available. I didn't make screenshots of those, but yeah, the premise is still the same. I still have to win my 2 other games. So let's see how this worked out. Thank you for watching, guys, and see you in the next one.